definitely a fan favorite. She's had tough fights. The 1-2 record isn't really indicative of how good of a fighter she is. She's always taken fights with bigger girls, taller girls. This is really the first fight she's ever had where she looks the girl straight in the eyes. Jori Waln's fought in North Platte before on a DC show that I helped co-promote. Our good friends with Disorderly Conduct, now Dynasty Combat Sports, and she's very good.
Both coming out looking to strike a little bit right off the bat here in round one.
And they are. They're both good strikers. Jori's a good striker, but Jori isn't afraid to take it to the ground. She's got good ground skills. But, it's one of those things where Merck is never going to try to take it to the ground. Mercedes is going to stand and trade. Jori will probably, but maybe if Jori's well-rounded, maybe a little more than Mercedes, so maybe if she don't like what she's seeing or feeling or what's going on there, you may see her try for the takedown. But until then, she's going to strike and feel her way out.
Mercedes in the pink shorts and Jori in the black and green shorts. These two ladies really filling each other out at this point, seeing where the openings are.
Yeah, Jori's more of the heavy-handed power hitter. She'll loop her punches in. She's got a lot of power. She'll throw a good jab, but then she'll loop in punches. Mercedes, straight down the pipe striker. She doesn't get wild. She doesn't have a whole lot of power on the punches, but she keeps them coming and she doesn't quit. And the good thing, what you might see out of Mercedes, being that she's never fought somebody that's her height. She's always fought taller girls. You might actually see her confidence start to grow as the round goes. Usually in the fights with the taller girls, you can see she's getting frustrated. Here she's looking at, and it makes a big difference. When you reach up to punch somebody taller, it takes a little bit off your punches. And finally, she's got somebody, she punches straight instead of punching up.
And the reach on both of them is fairly similar. It appears that Jori may have a couple of inches or an inch or two on her opponent Mercedes, but they're pretty similar, which means this sort of stand-up, face-to-face fighting really could go either way. It's all about the opening.
Absolutely, and but she just didn't know fighting, no serious hardcore fight training. Mercedes never really stops, She'll put in a fight camp when she has a fight, but she's always in the gym working out. So it's kind of, is Jori going to be able to work the ring rust out? It might take her a round to get back in it, to work that rust out. If it goes into the second round, you might see a different Jori. But like I said, Jori's calculated. She'll wait. When she sees her opening, she'll take it. Mercedes will just keep throwing at you.
This fight may actually come down to just experience, overall experience, and getting back into that comfort zone of knowing what to expect.
Absolutely. And, like I said, we really don't know a whole lot about how Jori a year off affected her. And she might feel it. I've taken time off and then fought, and I know what it's like. You can know everything to do in your head, and just getting your body to do it is a totally different thing. Even now at my age, if I got in there, I would probably, I know everything to do. My body can do it, but can my mind control it? And that sometimes can be, a year off can do that. She has the skills that are there, but working that rust off, can she get those skills to happen mentally? I guess we'll see. So
it's
far,
the difference between being in like a flight simulator and actually flying a plane. You can sit in the simulator all day long. And
you cannot, you can't simulate a fight in the gym. Don't matter what you're doing, because you got headgear, you got sparring gloves. It's just not the same. Even if you did it in fight gloves, no headgear, mouthpiece, you still don't have the nerves or the adrenaline rush that you have when you fight in front of a crowd and you step into a cage.
And so many factors, like we saw in the last fight, where a slip may have called that fight.
Absolutely. And in that fight with Thompson and Johnson, a lot of those leg kicks on Derek's leg probably are what attributed to his knee injury. Let's see there. And Jori's corner may have just said, be more aggressive, because she looks way more aggressive.
Yeah, it appears as though they said something to her, maybe about blowing out those cobwebs like you were talking about.
Like I said, maybe it was just that. Maybe she just needed a round to kind of fill it out. And, if Merck wasn't hitting her with any power, she wasn't going to be afraid. She's not going to change up her game plan, but I'm sure her corner said, you need to be more aggressive.
At this point, Mercedes is a really patient fighter. That's one thing that I've noticed about her over the years, is she's really a patient fighter. She waits for her opportunity.
She is. She's patient. That's, like I said, she's a straight down the pipe type of striker. You're not going to see her get wild and loop stuff in. She'll keep it straight. You know, occasionally she'll throw a left hook, but pretty much straight punches, straight at you. But I think Jori, what I would think that her camp would want her to do is A, be more aggressive, but B, get Mercedes against the cage, you know, and then tie up, maybe try a takedown. Just depends. Like I said, you know, if somebody's not taking punishment or taking shots, they might be happy to work their stand-up. And, you know, if Merck's done well, but if she hasn't landed power or hurt Jori probably happy to stand here and trade back and forth. But, I mean, as far as combinations, you'd have to give it to Merck. She's landed the combination. There she lands a really good right hook. She really kind of caught Jori thinking she was just going to nap against the cage, and there was a big punch from Jori. Like I said, Jori is one of these fighters as well, you know, female fighter that smells blood, and when she has you hurt, she will swarm on you. She won't just stand out and see what you're going to do. If she thinks you're hurt, she's coming.
It seems like they both understand that pretty well, too, because they're kind of standing off each other and feeling each other out and waiting for those moments when, like you said, they smell blood.
I'm sure Jori and her team have watched tape on Mercedes. Mercedes is, you know, all of her fights are on YouTube. I mean, you can see right there. You see that she's tough. She don't back down. She comes straight forward, and she's fought big girls every time she's lost. She's won. All three of her fights have been decisions. She's never got, you know, knocked anybody out, never got knocked out, never entered a fight. They've all went to the decision, so she can do it. She has the conditioning to do it, and she will stay in your face.
Jori's really working on Mercedes right now with Mercedes back against the fence here.
Yeah, and I would think that maybe that will play into the latter rounds. Maybe Waln's camp is wanting her, you know, just if you, like I said, if you're not getting hurt, let's just keep picking her apart. When you want the takedown, it's there, you know. And I'm sure Mercedes camp is saying, just throw, just do what you always do, fight the way you always fight, throw punches. I mean, she's got a lot of heart. She will stay in there. She's
really a fight to the end fighter.
Absolutely.
Much like we saw in Roman Reyes' fight.
And right at the end, Jori, not really so much of a knockdown on the punch as it was more of a slip when Merck was trying to throw a punch. But you see that nice respect. Jori helps her up. And that's
a lot of respect there.
Yeah, and both of them are great women. I've met with Jori the last fight when she fought here a year ago, and at the weigh-in, she's very respectful, very nice. She trains hard, and Merck's the same way. So that's what people talk about fighting, and all fighters is brutal. There you see a nice show of respect. You know, her opponent helps her up in between rounds, you know.
So after round one, it was really a match of a chess game match to see where the openings were. Is there a clear winner out of round one?
Round one I gave to Mercedes. She stayed busy. Jori just really wasn't aggressive. Round two, I definitely would give to Jori. She came out and was more aggressive. Mercedes, it wasn't clear cut. It wasn't a clear cut 10-9, but Jori definitely did some damage. The way she ended that round is strong in the judges' eyes. That round may have been enough in the judges' mind to go, yeah, that's hers. You know, if they were teetering on the fence, the way Jori finished that round was enough for them to go, yeah, Jori, 10-9.
Here we go with round three. Mercedes Timmerman out of North Platte and Jori Waln. Originally from Rosebud, South Dakota, out of, by way of Lincoln.
Yeah, Jori came out definitely more aggressive, like she did, maybe a little bit more even than she did the second round. What Mercedes wants to do is when she comes aggressive like that, she needs to stop that aggressiveness, throw a straight right down the pipe, take an angle maybe, throw that inside leg kick to throw her off, but you can't just back straight up. Somebody like Jori, you know, she'll throw and she'll keep, like I said, she's great. When she smells blood, she's a finisher. She will come after you.
You can tell the heart a little bit too because they're both leaning in. I mean, we're in round three here. They've got to be wearing down, but they're both leaning into each other. You're seeing this sort of engagement that sometimes you don't see in round three.
I'm a huge fan of both these girls' fighting styles. I'm a huge fan of Jori's. Well, I mean, I used to help train Mercedes. She came into my gym when she was 14 years old, trained for years. I have a lot of respect for them because they both are all heart. They keep coming. They don't quit. Some of the male fighters out there can learn a lot from women like this that show this is how you fight. You come to fight. You keep going.
You might be able to hear in the background Mercedes' corner telling her to stay busy.
Well,
stay busy, keep throwing, keep moving.
Like I said, I don't know how the judges scored it, but I scored the first round Mercedes, second round Waln. She can't just sit back, and let Jori come forward, throw a flurry, and then back off, because that flurry is scoring. Mercedes needs to stay busy, go busy, land some leg kicks, throw straight down the pipe, whatever she needs to do to score, because if Jori decides to turn it on, come straight forward. See, there you go. That's what Merck needs to do.
Mercedes is definitely more active with the counters in round 3 than she was in round 2.
Mercedes is a counter player. She's a counter fighter. She likes to look at the throw places. She likes to Jori's the opposite. She's come after you aggressive style. I think she may have caught Mercedes, but I've seen Mercedes couple during that exchange. I've seen Mercedes get hit with some heavy shots and just keep it coming. She's never been dropped. Fights been hit hard. Jori, like I said, Jori's tough. Both just tough. Jori really has that intense fighter stare. You can tell. She stares down her head. People sometimes think women's MMA, they're just wild.
Flurry of action there at the end of round 3, and we'll go to the judge.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. A unanimous decision, all 3 judges, at 28 for your winner, Jori Waln!